Tip Bonkum Sabat, and I met Jackie years ago when I was still an undergraduate. Ever since the very beginning, she's been a strong friend, mentor, supporter, and a reminder that injustices exist and we need to overcome them.
Oh.
Hi, my name is Golia, and I met Jackie Wong in 2001 when I was a junior in high school. I was a participant at the Asian Pacific Youth Leadership Project, and she was one of our mentors. And so when I first met her, I was automatically inspired by her personality, how confident she was, how serious she could be, to how fun she was able to make the different activities, and like her engagement and interaction with all of us as the participants.
From Stockton to Oakland to Sacramento, Jackie has continued to seek ways to improve the lives of the most vulnerable populations.
It's been amazing because now I serve as the program manager for Banteay Srei, and to know that, you know, right now I'm carrying on an organization that Jackie helped found. It's just really amazing because she invested so much work into empowering young Southeast Asian women and having a safe space like Banteay Srei, to be able to connect with their peers, to be able to connect with their community and their elders, but more importantly, to be able to connect with themselves. And for me to know that I'm carrying that organization forward is amazing, and it answers that question that I once had about, like, what is the meaning of Jackie and I having a relationship, and why did we keep running into each other in the past. And so I feel really grateful and very inspired by her to this day. Even though she's out in Sacramento and we're here in Oakland, you know, when some days when I just feel like I need some kind of validation, she calls me, you know, somehow she knows. She calls me and she reminds me that I'm doing a good job, and I really appreciate just those really small gestures. So thank you, Jackie, and you know, congratulations, happy 10th year anniversary with Banteay Srei, and you did great with Banteay Srei and also with me.
Hi, my name is Rani, and I met Elizabeth at the corner of an Ibasi office while she was working as a program coordinator for Banteay Srei. From 2004 through 2010, Elizabeth worked as the program coordinator and training coordinator for Banteay Srei. She has developed innovative peer-based programming, culturally relevant direct services, and intensive case management services for survivors of commercial sexual exploitation and domestic sex trafficking.
Elizabeth has always been there for me when I was going through a really hard time in my life growing up as a teenager. I remember her always giving me advices on boys, on relationships. I remember her always being there for me when I had nobody at all. When even my mom, when me and my mom were getting into it, where like I got kicked out the house, I had no money, I had no food, Elizabeth, I just always remember Elizabeth having my back. Like, I remember she would buy boxes of couple noodles just to like put them in the office because she knew that I would be hungry. And she'd be like, I remember her telling me like, well, you know, you can always like grab a couple noodles at the office and heck of stuff, because I'm like, you know, because I used to always see her like just buy boxes of couple noodles and put them, like big boxes, and just put them in the office, and then like nobody would really eat them like that. Or I don't know, like I was always wondering why she always bought so much. And then like one day, and then she was like, yeah, you know, there's so much, I don't know, like
Okay. Go ahead, turn off the camera.
No, I was just going through it as a teenager, just like hating life, hating everything. I just remember feeling like there was no point of me living. There was nothing. Like, I didn't get along with my mom. I had no friends. I probably just had one friend. I mean, like, I had people around me, like, but I still didn't feel comfortable to the point where, like, I could open myself up. Like, I can be cool, like, or just have that mentality that there are actually good people out there. Until I met Elizabeth, like, yeah, she helped me a lot. Like, she's been through it all with me and my mom. Like, I remember her coming to my house one time, and I was trying to explain to Elizabeth what my mom be doing to me, and then my mom yelled at me, and she yelled at Elizabeth. I remember that too. I don't know. I just have a lot of memories with her. She helped me through a lot. When I was like in a very abusive relationship, physically and mentally, she was there. She was always asking me, like, you know, do you love yourself? And why are you in this relationship? And that if I really wanted to leave, I could leave. And that she made me feel like that I could do anything. Like, even if I wanted to go to school, like, it's nothing in this world is impossible. Like, I just remember that with her, and just having like this sister bond relationship, just memories of one thing I really remember of her, just hiking, and she always trying to bring me around all these trails, all these snakes. I remember that. I remember when she always bring up, oh, let's go camping, let's go hiking. I will always ask her, is there snakes? And she was like, Monica, you have to get over it. There's snakes everywhere. I remember that as well. Yeah, she helped me become a better woman. I can honestly say that, in and out. Even though at that moment I probably felt like I wasn't making any progress, but with her by my side, I felt like I was making a lot of progress. And I love her for that. Even though she probably might not know, or she does know, I don't know.
Now she knows.
Now she knows. Now she knows.
Never even try. Do it for your country. Do it for your name. 'Cause there's gonna be a day when you're... They wait to plead their case, unknown cast aside. I love to see their face.
My name is Wendy Chang, and I work at Asian Health Services. I've known Jen since around 2006, and I first met her while I was a volunteer at AHS. And so I vaguely remember how we met, but I do remember one thing. I always recognized her as someone who works very closely with our CEO, Srei, doing big and very important things. It also took me 2 years later to find out that she is half Korean and German. And during that whole time, I actually thought that she was either Filipino or Chinese who didn't speak Chinese.
I have a lot of respect and I admire Jen. She is very committed and strongly believes in the work of community, and she values that most. As former coworkers, she's a welcoming person.
So, when did I meet Jen Lee? When I first started Asian Health Services about 13 years ago. And the impact that she has made on me has been phenomenal. I've grown up with the program. I've grown with her as well as my daughter. I've watched also Jen grow as a person as well. I think we just have grown up together and became a family.
Shine on, let him shine, let him shine on. Oh, stars flicker in the distance, lonely out in space. They sing out, but we're not listening.
Jen Lee, it is an honor to have been a part of your life, an honor to have been a part of youth program, Asian Health Services, an honor to have been a part of Banteay Srei, and here we are 10 years later, making that mark. Thank you
for being the dedicated, humbling, empowering person that you are. You are a woman that when I grow up, I want to be just like you.
Let 'em shine on. Because you never know what life is gonna take you, and you can't change where you've been. But today, I have the opportunity to choose.
So my name is Gianna Tran. I'm with the East Bay Asian Youth Center, EBASI, and I knew Chanda since she was in high school at Olin Tech when she came to EBASI and joined the youth organizing team back in the day.
As a teenager growing up, Chanda always had a dream to help young people succeed in life. That is why she decides to work as a case manager for the East Bay Asian Youth Center. In the last 10 years, Chanda has helped hundreds of youth graduate from school, go to college, or get a job, and be good citizens in society.
Maria Chanda Lee Sang, but also known as Yaya. Impact that Chanda had on my life is a big impact. She is one of the role models that I was looking for when I was young. And it's a lot of things that Chanda did. I look up to her. I wanted to be her. Wanted to follow her footsteps because when I came to EBASI and joined some of the programs, I always look over to Chanda and see what she's doing. Like, you know, she's been helping youth like us, like at-risk youth, and I see that she changed a lot of people's lives, and a lot of youth that I know that worked with Chanda had, you know, they always say too, like, damn man, if it wasn't for Chanda May, well they call it not just Chanda, they call it Chanda May. If it wasn't for Chanda May, man, I don't know where I would be. And that's the same thing I would say. If it wasn't for Chanda May, I don't know where I would be too, because she was the one who introduced me to most of the things that the positive in my life, like Banteay Srei. If it wasn't for Chanda, I wouldn't know what Banteay Srei was or what EBASI was. And one thing that's good about having Chanda in my life is she's also an auntie, which is, you know, she's my favorite auntie. Chanda May is one of my favorite aunties. So that one, it needs to be said. Chanda May is my favorite auntie. One of my favorite aunties. I'm not trying to get other auntie jealous, but she's one of them. But yeah, for me being a woman, for me being a good auntie now, for me being a good daughter, cousin, whatever it is, most of them has to do with Chanda May. So, I mean, there's a lot more I could say, but you know, I don't want to get emotional and all that stuff. But it's enough said. You know, she's one of my favorite person in this world. So that's one thing that's big to say.
My name is Sam, and I work with Manette at Asian Health Services Youth Program. And I met Manette, well, when I first started working here. So it's been about 8 years, but I knew her before that. Her sister-in-law and I are best friends. But when I worked with Manette, started working with Manette, before I met her, I kind of knew that she was a really empowering Khmer woman. We had conversations about, you know, being in the community, doing community work, and I was really inspired meeting another Khmer woman who was, you know, in the community. I didn't know many other Khmer women who was like working in the community, and Manette was. It was pretty awesome to be able to connect with Manette, and then to be able to work here with her. When I first started AHS, Manette was known as the Oracle. So, and referred to as Miss Thang. So she's been pretty amazing woman. She's inspired a lot of young people. She's inspired me myself. She's done a lot of work with young women, empowering young women, doing Banteay Srei and introducing me to Banteay Srei as well. I was quite fortunate when I first started. I was able to work with Banteay Srei, and
working with the young girls there and meeting them and working alongside Manette. She is really caring. If you didn't have a bed, she'll go buy you a bed, a mattress, to make sure that you're being taken care of, especially the young people that we work with. If somebody came in and didn't have food, Manette would offer food to them. She provide a home if she can, but her husband wouldn't allow that. He doesn't want a house filled with kids, but she's very caring and she puts others first before herself.
Okay, I met Miss Thing when I was a kid, and my cousin Macy was a youth peer leader at Asian Health Services. Miss Thing was always like joking around, and we always had this like code knock on the door when we went into the office. As I grew up, I still went to Asian Health Services, and I got to know Miss Thing more, and she introduced me to join the peer leader program. And so I did when I was in 8th grade. She had a big impact on my life because she has made me be the person I want to be now. Like, I'm about to go to college and I want to major in social working. She just always, always taught me to like be positive and always help people and think about myself when it came to like school and all that stuff, like going to college and what I wanted to be. I want to tell Miss Thing, thanks for giving me a chance in 8th grade to actually get like an internship job and introducing me to like birth control and just guiding me with good things in life, like teaching me that you don't have to do bad things to have a good life. And just I will come back to visit you because I'm going to college, and don't forget to invite me to your wedding.
Anything you want done, baby, I do it naturally. Take me to that old familiar place. Take me to memories we won't erase. Take me to all that we had, good and the bad. I'll never forget you. Reflect the records we set, best foot forward with every step, and let's push towards it, never regress, and let's remember if ever we get down, the places that we came from round, and all the good times on the bad side of town, the upside of bad, flip it upside down, came from the bottom but we up high now, believe, and from this view we achieved, we look back at the rules we received, and how we broke those, dismantled and rewrote those, and the ghost still alive in the photos, sounds of the summer, day and go wise, cold wind blowing through a city on fire. Moments of the past came here to find you, not to relive them, just to remind you. Take